Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be ranking all of the episodes of the new Disney Plus exclusive Star Wars series, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look, I got a Star Wars shirt on. Don't look at the character beneath that. Stop, that's from earlier this year. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know my ranking is probably not going to be very unique because of the episodes I have at the top and at the bottom. But whatever, I just hope you enjoy me rambling on about the new Star Wars series.
Okay. So, number 6 is episode 4, definitely. This episode was pretty dark. Well, not like dark and like someone dies, someone turns to the dark side, or something like that. But just the lightning, not the lightning. The lighting was very, very dark. I couldn't really see much was going on in this episode. But even then, it was just kind of a generic rescue mission. But it was really cool to see the similarities to this and the last like an hour of Jedi Fallen Order when they went for Fortress Inquisitorius in that game. Because this is Fortress Inquisitorius. It's cool to see it again and stuff. Also, it's the last appearance of the fifth brother and a few other those Inquisitors. So yeah, I thought they would be appearing in the next few episodes, but no, they're just kind of they were just like, I'm gonna head out. But yeah, kind of a darker episode and the lighting and everything. But it's pretty cool to see Obi-Wan kind of escape here and stuff. And yeah, but we've already seen Obi-Wan rescue Leia in episode 2, so I don't know, it just kind of feels like a little bit of a waste of time. Maybe we should have spent this episode maybe learning more about Vader and Obi-Wan as characters and some maybe more flashbacks and stuff. Obi-Wan maybe more trying to reach out to Qui-Gon. There's more stuff they could have done in this episode, but they just decided not to. Maybe instead of just going to a location from Jedi Fallen Order, they could have made a character for Jedi Fallen Order. You know, like Cal Kestis, why couldn't they have met him? That'd be pretty cool. Obi-Wan, maybe Obi-Wan could rescue Leia with Cal. That would be pretty cool. I mean, anything with Cal, I'm up for. It wouldn't be left on the list if it had Cal. I'm still really excited for Jedi Fallen Order 2, though. 2023, man. I'm really excited. But yeah, but before this episode, everyone thought that the reason that Leia didn't address Obi-Wan, Leia's prior connections with Obi-Wan in the holo message that she put in R2 was because she didn't know that Obi-Wan's name was Obi-Wan. She just knew him as Ben. But in this episode, Reva kind of just like says like Obi-Wan is dead or whatever. So kind of ruins that. Also, saddest death in all of Star Wars, Wade. Yeah, and how was Reva able to like deflect the laser bolts with her lightsaber? That didn't really make any sense, man. Like those laser bolts are pretty powerful. And that woman that we saw in the previous episode, yeah, she sneaks into this Imperial base and she gets around and yeah, I mean, I don't know her name because names. This episode actually reminds me a lot of the episodes of the Bad Batch, if you know that show that came out last summer. Yeah, it was summer of 2021 last year, and we're gonna get season 2 of that maybe later on this year, early next year or something. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but we're gonna get it someday. A lot of episodes in that show are kind of a waste of time, and they're just kind of dragged on a bit, and that kind of is what this episode is. So it kind of feels like that, and I bet a lot of the rest of Disney shows are gonna have some episodes that kind of feel like a little bit of a waste of time. But overall, it's alright. It's just one episode of the 6. It's still not that bad, okay? There is some good moments in here. I do kind of like Reva torturing Leia and Wade. Very, very sad death. And the Inquisitors, they're interesting. In this episode, we continue to see the impact of the Grand Inquisitor's death. And, okay, spoilers for episode 5, but, we all know that the Grand Inquisitor is, of course, alive. Everyone knew that. Okay, so number 5 is episode 2, the other episode where Obi-Wan breaks Leia out of somewhere. I like this kind of city area. It's like Coruscant. It might as well be Coruscant. I think it'd be nice to see Coruscant again, and literally wouldn't need to change like anything about the episode. Maybe just add in a scene of Obi-Wan arriving at Coruscant and just being like, man, this is what this place is now. Oh, God. It literally would not make a single difference other than that, okay? There's so much areas in Coruscant that we have not seen, okay? There's trillions of people here, and probably billions of streets and everything, and, okay, I know probably some of the streets aren't exactly like this in Coruscant and around where the Jedi Temple is and all that. With it being so dark and kind of and no one be able to remember anything. But this could be a different area of Coruscant at the complete opposite end of the planet and all that, and that'd be cool. I like seeing the Inquisitors here. I always like seeing them, and that kind of look cool. This is the episode where Obi-Wan finally taps into the Force and gets his Force powers back. That's awesome. And of course, I like seeing Leia as always. I think Obi-Wan and Leia meeting was so cool. But in these first two episodes, you have this scene in each of them that has Leia just run away from Obi-Wan. Or not run away, but run away from someone. It's so annoying. Like Leia has such tiny legs. She's just a little child. Why can no one catch up to her? And also the Grand Inquisitor Reva, or I think it was Reva. Yeah, Reva puts a bounty on Obi-Wan, so everyone on the whole planet is trying to get him. Yeah. Good job, Obi-Wan. Good job trying to keep safe. Okay, so number 4 is episode 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This episode is pretty good. It does a pretty good job as showing how Obi-Wan is adapting this new life and this PTSD of Anakin, and it's actually kind of cool to compare this to Obi-Wan at the end of episode 6 of this show. It kind of shows that this show actually does have a purpose. Some people might ask, what was even the purpose of this show? Why not just leave it? Why does he have to ruin everything? This is the story of how Obi-Wan overcame his PTSD and overcame Vader, and he came to live with it and deal with it. You know, the Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan Kenobi seemed pretty chill about the whole Vader thing and all that stuff. He's kind of the old wise old master. He didn't really have any. He wasn't really troubled at all. But this Obi-Wan is different here. You can see he going on his daily life every single day. It's not the most entertaining of episodes. That's why it's number 4. But it does a good job of showing what place Obi-Wan is in this universe. We see the Inquisitors for the first time, and I love the scene where Reva interrogates Owen. Kind of, coincidental, considering Owen. Yeah, and the 6th episode, yeah, coincidental. We also see Luke kind of a bit, playing, and that's cool. And we see Owen and Kenobi talking, and I just kind of like how Obi-Wan wants to look after Luke, but Owen's not allowing it. You know what I mean? Owen wants Obi-Wan to get the fuck away from them. I think Owen's characterization is really good. Okay, we obviously know from episode 4 that he didn't really, want Obi-Wan to be around them. Okay, he thinks he's an old hermit, and he doesn't want Luke to be a Jedi because he thinks that the same thing is going to happen to him as happened to Anakin, and he's correct to be thinking that. Okay, he's a good father. He wants to keep his son safe at all costs. We see in this show that Owen and Beru really do care about Luke, and that's actually just really good to see. And Owen kind of roasted him, if you know what I mean. When the time comes, he must be trained, like you did his father. We also see the first appearance of Senior Melonhead, aka the Grand Inquisitor, and the 5th brother and all that. And the 5th brother looks really weird. It's just his face paint. Yeah, he kind of looks like himself in Rebels. Not really. Whatever, great start to the show. We also see Leia being roasting her cousin, and Bail Organa, and yeah, I'm just saying this is pretty dark how Bail Organa says to Leia that she will rule the planet someday, and well, we kind of know how that goes. And number 3 is episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here is where we get our first appearance of a Vader. This is pretty cool. And we also see Hayden Christensen in the role here, and some kind of voice changing, so that it kind of blends in, and Hayden Christensen and James Earl Jones' voices together, I think. Well, it sounds a lot better in this episode than it did in Rogue One. We also see just Anakin standing on the field when Obi-Wan's walking, and I thought that was actually pretty cool to just see that. That was kind of cool seeing Hayden Christensen for the first time in the show. It's great to see Vader again, and the fight here with Obi-Wan was pretty good. He was absolutely wrecking Obi-Wan in this episode. Yeah, it's fun to see, and also Obi-Wan and Leia's relationship kind of grows. With Obi-Wan telling Leia about her parents and all that. I thought it was pretty cool. Obi-Wan and Leia kind of sneaking up on that truck, and those stormtroopers kind of sitting there. It was very awkward. It was actually really, really funny. I thought this part of the episode was great. This episode isn't just good because it has Vader in it, and Vader versus Obi-Wan. It was also just great in the other parts of the episode as well. We also got to meet this Imperial officer girl who was disguised as an Imperial officer. Yeah, Overall, this is a pretty good episode, and I don't really know if we're going to be focused on more on these episodes, because I have made Certain like I have made full on reviews on all of them. Well, I combined episode 1 and 2 into one video, and then 3 and 4 into one video, but whatever. Go check them out. This is a pretty good episode, and Vader's entrance was pretty good as well. That was all awesome, and this episode is just pretty good. It's always nice to see Vader's castle. Number 2 is episode 5, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is where things really start to heat up, and I really, really, really love this episode because you get Obi-Wan and Anakin playing like having a lightsaber duel throughout the entire episode. It kind of keeps going back to that. But that's not the only reason why this episode is number 2 on my list. Also, the stuff with Reva was pretty good. I don't know why people are always complaining about her. Is it because of the race, guys? Is it racism? Really? Come on. I think some people are complaining that the actor is black, but in my opinion, actually, I think Star Wars and Disney isn't actually hiring enough black actors. But whatever. Like the majority of Star Wars characters are white. Like think of someone, I don't know, Luke, Anakin, or Padme, or I don't know. I'm thinking about Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru because of this show. Leia, okay, if Ahsoka doesn't have any human. Why am I thinking about her? Most of the Imperial officers are white. Okay, well, you know what? Moving on. As I said in my review, I love this episode how it explores Reva's backstory and the place in the Jedi Temple. Where in the opening of episode 1, where Reva's like running out of the room because the clones are attacking. I'm pretty sure that is Reva right there at the very beginning of the show, just after the recap. That's the same room that Anakin and Obi-Wan have their fight in this episode. So that's kind of cool. It's the same room and everything. What? And again, it's great seeing more Vader. This episode is just great. But I do like how Reva was trying to gain Vader's trust all this time, and then she tried to attack him from behind after the ship left. Also, why didn't Vader try to force grab the decoy ship? Like, come on, man. Whatever, I thought that was a great part of the story, and the Grand Inquisitor being alive. Everyone guessed it, but it was still a pretty good payoff. And his entrance, hello, classic. Yeah, whatever. Everyone knew that he was alive and all that. It's not really that big of a surprise. They were just toying with Reva. They were just using her. And that Grand Inquisitor could have survived because he has a second stomach, or that wasn't actually the Grand Inquisitor at all. That's my theory. I feel like this is all planned. Maybe they're just sending a decoy or something, or I don't know. Something like that. They could pull it off. Also, it's good to see some Leia get some action in this episode, trying to fix some wires up and that. Yeah. And number 1, you're all coming, and because of process of elimination, Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 6 is number 1. I don't know how this couldn't be number 1. Just delivers so much. All the payoffs are in this episode. We have the big final rematch of Obi-Wan. We have 2 cameos. We have Reva going after Luke, which definitely wasn't as interesting as this plot, and maybe shouldn't be in this episode. I think my favorite part about this episode is the part where Obi-Wan just apologizes to Anakin, or to Darth Vader. I guess it just feels so emotional, man. The music as well in the background, just full on Star Wars, man. Overall, the video was actually just great, and I love how Obi-Wan was buried in the rocks, and I was really wanting for Qui-Gon to reach out to him in that part, but I think it was actually really good how they handled the Force Ghost Qui-Gon thing. How after Obi-Wan kind of overcame his biggest fear, Vader, he finally was able to clear his mind and see Qui-Gon. To quote Qui-Gon himself, he was always there. Obi-Wan just wasn't there ready to see him. Palpatine was there too in the episode. I mean, I still think that his eyes just don't really look correct, but I love his voice and everything, and there was Ian McDiarmid back again. Like seeing Owen Beru trying to defend their house in this episode, and it kind of feels weird how Reva chases down Luke with the lightsaber, and Luke never acknowledges this in episode 4. But I think Luke just didn't see the lightsaber and thought he was getting chased by a Tusken Raider, like Uncle Owen told him. I love how Reva's story ended, how she was kind of becoming who she wanted to destroy. A great ending to a great show, in my opinion. Okay, 2 great cameos, as I said. Just a great final battle scene, and yeah. Though I just had one plot hole. I just think there's a big plot hole at the beginning when the Star Destroyer she's sitting in the ship. It's chasing up the ship. Shouldn't they just stand up TIE fighters, or when they're choosing between Obi-Wan and the Rebels? Why can't they just go after both? So the TIE fighters after the Rebels, and then just the Star Destroyer after Obi-Wan, or something like that. Whatever. Okay, let's cut to me.
So yeah, guys, that is the ranking video, and I have done separate reviews for all of these, so you can just go check them out on my channel. Haven't had the series are just wrapped up, so they're pretty new as well. So yeah, hope please go and enjoy those. Let's talk about the series overall. I thought it was really, really good, and it was pretty awesome. First of all, I didn't mention this yet, but I was just thinking today, this kind of fixed a plot hole that, about Kylo Ren, and his actual name is Ben. And now, before this series, I was just kind of thinking, a lot of other people were thinking, like, why would he be named Ben? Han or Leia didn't really have any big connection to Ben at all. It was more Luke. So, why did Han and Leia call their son Ben and not after someone else? I don't know, like, even like Bail Organa or someone, or someone related to someone that Han had a close relationship with. I don't know. But now this series tells it, okay? Leia had a good relationship with Ben, I guess, and she never got to see him. She never got to see him again in episode 4, and so I guess that's why she named her son after Ben, and that was cool. And maybe that Luke wanted to name him Ben as well, so that was cool. And it's not like Han hated him. But yeah, episode 6 really hits hard. Obi-Wan versus Vader. It just is absolutely awesome. And especially people have been pointing out that Obi-Wan chipped off one side of the mask in the show, and then Ahsoka cut off another piece of the mask, and then Luke, in Return of the Jedi, he takes the full mask off, and that's just poetry, it rhymes, it's awesome. Okay, and they cut off the helmet with combat, but Luke just took it off. He didn't use violence. So that was awesome as well. Obi-Wan as a character was really great. It really evolved in this show. I really think at the end he kind of felt a lot like Alec Guinness. Like Alec Guinness Obi-Wan, and hello there. We finally got hello there. That was pretty awesome. Yeah. What can I say, guys? What can I say? I thought it was really good how they got the actors back for Owen and Brew. That was pretty awesome. And the show was pretty good. And there's probably going to be a season 2. I'd say so. It was supposed to be a limited time series, but people are really loving this show apparently. So why not? I'm pretty sure they're going to make a second season, and then we're going to make a show about Reva. And sure, okay, I guess I'd be up for that. I don't know if it's going to be before the show takes place or after it. I don't really know. I mean, we don't really know what Reva kind of goes on to do. I mean, is she gonna be a Jedi now or something? I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. We know a lot more about what her life was before the show. She's just an inquisitor going around, and yeah, and that's stuff. So I think I'll be more interested in seeing her life after this show, because I'm pretty curious to see what's up. Yeah. The other Inquisitors were cool. The fifth brother, I thought his design looked more funny than anything, and yeah, the designs aren't great. In this show, I really think they probably should have put more of a budget into it, because some of the things just kind of do feel cheap. Just like the Grand Inquisitor. I mean, he doesn't look bad or anything. He just kind of looks a little bit cheap. They kind of feel like that. They looked at the Grand Inquisitor design and just said, yeah, we'll just kind of decided to change his design a little bit just and see if no one notices. I mean, they could have used CGI or special effects, maybe make his head longer and like that, because the Utapau species are like that. Okay, and we saw one of them in live action in Revenge of the Sith, but they were just like, nah. That is unfortunate. Sometimes the show kind of does feel a little bit cheap, and I hope they don't do that in the future. I feel like Book of Boba Fett in a way kind of feels like it had a bigger budget, just because except for the chase scenes. But the chase scenes are never good in these new Star Wars shows. Whenever Leia got chased around in the show, it just kind of felt stupid. Whatever. Anyway, that's it for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I will make other videos on it. Maybe, I don't know. It's like with these new Star Wars shows, I mean, everyone just kind of does everything that I might even think about doing, and it kind of feels like I have nothing to add to the table. I just make reviews on these things that kind of move on. I think if I'd be having more to say about other things, maybe, or something, but whatever. Next Star Wars show is 31st of August, Andor. I'll possibly be there. I don't know. People are not nearly as excited for Andor, but I'm a bit excited. I mean, Andor is just you see what Obi-Wan Disney were taking such a bigger risk, because if they got this show wrong, it would have messed up so much stuff with the franchise. But if they mess Andor up, it's just okay, oopsie doopsies, it was a bad show, kind of move on, no one really remember. It's kind of like Rebels, some people didn't like Rebels, but it didn't really ruin anything. Well, the stuff it got right was actually the stuff that they needed to get right, like the Ahsoka and Vader and stuff like that, you know? Like, no one really cares about Cassian Andor. No, there is some fans of him out there, but it's not going to ruin the franchise or anything if the show goes badly. So they're not taking it as big of a risk. And it's going to be a 12-episode series, and I'm pretty excited. It might be a fun show just to see the rebels going around. I don't know, do something. I saw the trailer and I literally did not remember what happened in it. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be around for the first part of the series. You know, the first few episodes. I don't know. Disney Plus is probably going to be gone away for a bit this summer, so yeah, my exams came back. They weren't the great, guys. I'm sorry, this is my fault. Whatever. Yeah, hopefully might be getting it back in September. Disney Plus. Whatever. And Bad Batch season 2 seems to be cool. Again, I can't remember what happened in that trailer. It just kind of felt like it's more of the same with that one, but whatever. Bad Batch. I really enjoyed that show, so I'm excited to see it. And Mando season 3 probably not coming out this year. I don't really see how they could fit it into their schedule. They're probably going to release it early next year. That's my opinion. They'll squeeze in Andor and Bad Batch probably the end of this year. Mando's year or next year, and then Ahsoka as well next year, I think. And other stuff. Like, I'm excited for Star Wars in the next few years, guys. Whatever. Yeah. So click away if you're not a big fan of my channel. But you know what? Okay. So I'm probably gonna do more watch parties for Obi-Wan because I don't think I did one on the 4th episode. I think it was the 4th episode. Maybe it was the 3rd episode. I kind of forget. And 6th episode, it was completely like laggy. The camera kind of messed up. And honestly, I might just remove that from the playlist. I'll leave the video. I don't know, just because you know I like having more uploads and channels and stuff. Don't watch it though. Don't watch it. It's so laggy, and you know it's the Obi-Wan Kenobi finale, and you know it's kind of important. You know, it is kind of, you know. So I kind of want to I'll rewatch that. I'll rewatch a few episodes. I'll probably rewatch the whole series at some point, maybe in another month or two, and do the watch parties then. Hopefully. So yeah. Anyway, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd smash that like button, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.